Hey y'all, let's do some synthetic division. Synthetic division is a shortcut method to divide polynomials. This may become your favorite method. They don't always teach this in Math 3 just because the long division way has more meaning to itself, but this way is a really quick way. Let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what is this x worth. So normally we do that by setting it equal to 0. And then solving, and we get x equals -4. What we're going to do with this -4 is we're going to put it off to the side, do like one of these really long L things, and rather than writing this entire value out, we're just going to put in the coefficients. Coefficients meaning the number that's in front. So there's a 1, a -1, a -27, and a -28. So I'm going to put 1, -1, -27, and -28. Don't blink or you're going to miss it. So we're going to go ahead and bring this 1 right down. Do nothing to it. Just bring the 1 down. We're going to multiply -4 times 1 and get -4. My next move is I'm going to add these together. So if I add a -1 and a -4, I get -5. And we're going to keep this process going. We're going to multiply these. -4 times -5 is +20. I'm going to add straight down, get me -7. I'm going to multiply these two together. -4 times -7 gives me +28. I'm going to add straight down, giving me 0. So this 0 tells me that there's going to be no remainders, and my answer is right here. But we're not going to leave it like this. We're going to write what it's going to be multiplying into. So this x minus 4 came from x to the first power. So x to the first power times something gives me x to the third power. The only thing that would work would be x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down, and it's going to be one less power than the original. So I've got 1x to the second power. And then I'm just going to go in descending order, starting with this -5. We'll go -5x to the first power, but I don't need to write that. Bring down that 7. I don't even need this 1 in the front, but this is my final answer. I'm finished, and if I want to check my work, I can just take some scratch paper and confirm that this answer multiplied by this gives me that original statement. So if I want to check, I'm just going to fast forward this because it takes a little while. And so after I multiplied all this stuff out, I wound up with my original answer. So I know I did it right. You don't always need to check, but it's a good idea to know how to check if you're not sure. So you guys are going to be in charge of this one on your own. Follow the same steps. Let's move to the next one. Synthetic division with non-zero remainders. So this one had a remainder of 0. So what happens when we don't get a 0 at the end? So we'll do the same steps. X plus 5 equals 0. We get x equals -5. So we're going to set up this long L, put this -5 on the outside, and we're going to put all of our coefficients in. So I've got a 1, 1, -22, and another -1. So I've got 1, 1, -22, -1. We're just putting the coefficients, no variables. First step, bring that first one down. We're going to multiply -5 times 1, -5. Then we're going to add straight down, giving me -4. If I multiply -5 times -4, I get 20. I'm going to add straight down, giving me -2. -5 times -2 gives me 10. I'm going to add straight down, and I get 9. So this is my remainder. If you remember from class today, when we have a remainder, we're just going to write this over what we were dividing out. So we're going to do 1 less than my original exponent. So instead of doing x to the power 3, we'll do x to the power 2. Remember, there's an invisible 1 there. I'm just putting the 1 in. Then we go in descending order. Minus 4x minus 2. This is a positive 9, so I'm going to go plus 9 over x plus 5. And that is my final answer. All right, what happens when we have missing powers? So if you look at this one, it looks like we go power of 3 down to power of 1. So we've jumped over power of 2. So if we were to rewrite this statement out, it's really x to the power 3 plus 0x squared minus 49x plus 120. There was a 0x squared that they did not write, but we know it's still there. We're going to set this up so that this becomes x plus 8 equals 0, minus 8 on both sides. Okay, we're going to take that value, put it on the edge of our synthetic division. So we put a negative 8 out here. We have a 1, a 0, a negative 49, and a 120. Let's do the process. Bring down that 1. 1 times negative 8, negative 8. We're going to add those together. Negative 8 again. Negative 8 times negative 8 gives me positive 64. We're going to add straight down. And this gives me 15. Negative 8 times positive 15 gives me a negative 120. If I add straight down, we get 0. We're not going to write this as our answer. This is going to be x to the second because it's 1 less than that value. So we get x squared minus 8x plus 15 for our answer. Cool. I want you to pause the video and try these 3 on your own, or maybe you've been pausing as you go. Okay, if you got the following answers, then you can stop the video here. You totally understand what's going on. If you don't know how these answers came to be, keep watching. Okay, we're going to do this first one. The first step is to set this equal to 0 and solve for x. X equals 2. So we're going to put a 2 out here, and then we're going to put the coefficients of all these values up top. So I get 3, negative 22, 37, and negative 10. The first step is to bring down that first value. 2 times 3 is 6. So then we're going to add straight down, and we're going to get negative 16. If we multiply 2 times negative 16, we get negative 32. We're going to add straight down and get 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Add straight down, and we get 0. So there's a 0 remainder. We're going to take these values and put them 1 exponent less than the original. So this is now 3x squared minus 16x plus 5. That's my final answer. Cool. This next one. Same process. X minus 3 equals 0. Solve for x. Put a 3 on the outside. And we're going to put all the coefficients in. Make sure there's nothing being skipped. 3, 2, 1, 0. That looks good. So we're going to put 4, negative 16, 20, and negative 16. Bring down your 4. Multiply by 3, and we get 12. Add straight down. Negative 4. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. If we add straight down, we get 8. 3 times 8 is 24. If we add straight down on this step, we get an 8, which is telling me that this is my remainder. We're going to write this with 1 exponent less, so it's 4x squared minus 4x plus 8. It's a positive 8, so we're going to add 8 over what we were dividing. And that's how you do this one. Let's move on. So this one's missing some stuff. So it goes from 4, 3, and then it jumps over to 1. So if we were to rewrite this piece, it would look like x to the 4 minus 9x to the third plus a 0x squared plus a 0x to the first minus 1. So this is the real value. They just avoided writing out the 2 zeros, but we're not going to avoid those. Start with saying x minus 9 equals 0, x equals 9. We get, so 1 here, 1, negative 9, 0, 0, negative 1. Bring down your 1. 9 times 1 is 9. We add straight down and get a 0. 9 times 0 is 0. Add straight down. 9 times 0 is 0 again. 9 times 0 is 0, and then if we add straight down, we get a negative 1, which is my remainder. So it has a lot of zeros. We don't have to write them all out. We just write what we have. This is x to the third, because it's 1 less. So we have x to the third power. This would technically be plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 0, but I'm not going to write all those out. I'm just going to bring in my remainder. I'm going to subtract 1 over whatever I was dividing, x minus 9. And now I'm done. Tomorrow in class, we're going to go over why we're spending so much time on dividing polynomials. So make sure you know how to do synthetic division and regular division. Synthetic division is something that we can only use if it has a coefficient of 1. So keep that in mind. All of these had a leading coefficient of 1x, 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 1x. They all had whatever we were dividing by. It was just x plus a number. It gets a little hairy when it isn't in that format. So if it's not like this, that means you're going to do long division instead.